Gaige, first of all, what are your thoughts on the trial up to this point, in particular Rittenhouse's testimony?
Anderson, it's been interesting. I think people on both sides, however you view this case, can agree with that. Specifically to the defendant's testimony, I can't say that I was, one, particularly impressed nor convinced. To me, it seemed like a child being upset because they were caught, not upset because of what they had done wrong.
Now, he says he did not re-rack his gun. He said that on the witness stand. You obviously said that he did. You firmly say that you witnessed that.
Yes, absolutely.
And what was going through your mind in the moment right before you were shot?
That I was going to die, and I felt that I needed to do whatever I could to try and preserve my own life.
Gaige, I just want to play something you said in court to make sure that we have everything right. This was on Monday when you were being questioned by the defense.
When you were standing 3 to 5 feet from him with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
And on Good Morning America today, you said that you were absolutely not pointing your gun at Rittenhouse. Can you clarify that?
Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, that was a very tense situation, something that I've never been in before. It's like having never been shot before. I think it's important to note, though, that specifically during cross, and if there is a skilled attorney, they're able to present questions to help support their narrative. That's their job. And with one of the exhibits that Attorney Sharafi had introduced, there's a photo of me with my gun pointed towards the defendant, either just after or right during he had shot me in my right arm. I think it's important to note, though, that the physiology of my wound would be inconsistent with somebody being shot with their arm in, we'll say, the traditional way that you would point a gun at somebody or something. The only way that I could have sustained the injury that I have is if I had been shot with my arms up.
So did you ever point your gun at him?
I think that, again, in the still photos, it certainly looks like it, but never intentionally. You have to understand that following that gunshot, I had no use of my arm. I wasn't able to move anything in my right arm or on my right arm.
And I want to bring in Kim in here in a moment, but I just want to ask, you brought a gun to what you knew would be a potentially volatile situation, a demonstration that then turned more volatile and violent. Why did you bring a gun if you were there as a medic?
That's a good question, Anderson. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in American citizens' right to bear arms. I carry a weapon with me. It's just like grabbing your keys, your phone, your wallet, and your gun. So that night was no different than any other night. But I think an important juxtaposition between the defendant and myself, both claiming to be medics, is that one of us was carrying illegally with a rifle, and one of us was carrying concealed with a handgun.
So, Kim, testimony is concluded in the trial. Closing arguments are set for Monday. As an attorney yourself, I mean, where do you see this going, and what do you think of the judge's rulings in this so far?
Well, I think that, this is probably the biggest case that Kenosha has ever seen and probably will ever see. I think that the judge has had a very tough job. This is a very challenging case. There's been some really questionable rulings that I really, frankly, don't agree with. I don't understand why some of the prior bad acts of the defendant, such as he has threatened to use his weapon against others before, but the judge didn't let that video to come into the court, which I think was relevant. Those types of decisions I really, really question. But I'm not the judge on this case.
Gaige Grosskreutz, I appreciate it. Kim Motley as well. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.